I'm the Fandomnaut. You request it, I watch it. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. It's a time of love and affection and just all around just a good holiday in general. And of course, it's the holiday of romance. Much like this story that I'm about to tell you about today, Romeo and Juliet. It's considered by many to be the original tragic love story, and it is beloved by many, been retold many times, and remains one of Shakespeare's most famous plays. Well, time for me to tear this story to shreds, because this story of young love gone awry actually has a hidden villain. A puppet master that has been manipulating the story the whole time. A man by the name of Friar Lawrence. Now, before I get started, I did not come up with this theory. This theory actually has articles on it all the way back in 2011. But, again, this is my take on the theory. But just in case, you might want to check out the description for some articles on the original theory. Alright, got that out of the way? Let's start the theory. Most of you already know the story of Romeo and Juliet, but I'll sum it up quickly. There are two warring families, the Montagues and the Capulets. The son of the Montagues, Romeo, and the daughter of the Capulets, Juliet, fall in love despite their warring families. Romeo kills Juliet's cousin, Tybalt, in a fit of rage and is banished because of it. Juliet is scheduled to be married off, but she gets a potion that tells her, that basically puts her into a coma. Romeo comes back and thinks she is dead, so he kills himself. When Juliet wakes up, she finds Romeo dead, so she kisses him and kills herself. TLDR, worst timing ever. But there's a character I didn't mention that actually has a ton of plot significance. Friar Lawrence. In the story, he's but a humble friar, a simple man of God. But in the context of today's video, he had much more sinister plans. There are three main driving forces to this theory. 1, he is the one who marries Romeo and Juliet. 2, he didn't tell Romeo about the sleeping potion. And 3, he left Juliet alone after she learned Romeo was dead. Let's take a look at these. The first big driving point is that Friar Lawrence is the one who marries Juliet and Romeo. It's established very early on that practically everyone in Verona knows about the feud between the Capulets and the Montagues. So, it's basically, yeah, Friar Lawrence would know about it. However, when Romeo and Juliet ask to be wed, he just does it. No quarrels at all, he just does it. Despite the fact that this alone could cause an all-out war between the two families. The second driving force is one that has a lot more meat to it. Juliet gets a sleeping potion from Friar Lawrence, and yet Lawrence doesn't tell Romeo about it. After Mercutio gets killed by Tybalt and Tybalt killed by Romeo, Romeo is banished from Verona, and Juliet is to be married to Paris. No, not that Paris, this one. Juliet, who is heartbroken, asks the friar for help. So, instead of giving her a sensible answer, he gives her a potion that will basically put her into a sleep like death. Sound familiar? I know. But anyway, Romeo comes back, and when he asks where Juliet is, Friar Lawrence tells him. But he doesn't tell him about the potion. Don't you think telling this man his wife isn't dead might be essential? Yeah, I thought so. Finally, the last piece of evidence is this. He leaves Juliet to die. After Romeo stabs himself at the sight of sleeping Juliet, Juliet wakes up and is shocked to see Romeo's dead body. Friar Lawrence comes in and attempts to comfort Juliet, but after some noise is heard, he says this: "I dare no longer stay." Dude! You have a crying girl who is holding her dead husband and you leave her? What kind of a holy man does this? And as you all know the ending. Juliet kills herself, The Montagues and the Capulets end their feud, and the play ends. But I'm not done, because there's one more piece of evidence to this theory that cracks this whole thing wide open. In Act 5, Scene 3, Prince E, I can't pronounce his name, begins to suspect if someone was involved in the suicides of Romeo and Juliet. And one of those suspects is, you guessed it, Friar Lawrence. But then he says something, he being Friar Lawrence, that makes this theory almost proven. In line 3198, Friar Lawrence says this, quote, "I am the greatest, able to do least, yet most suspected at the time and place, doth make against me of this direful murder. And here I stand, both to impeach and purge, myself condemned and myself excused." In other words, Friar Lawrence said that he is guilty about his involvement with Romeo and Juliet and is confessing it to the prince. This puts this whole story into a whole new perspective. And I think I can tell the story through the eyes of this humble friar. So here's the story through his eyes. Long ago in Verona, Italy, the Montagues and the Capulets feuded greatly and loathed each other. But Friar Lawrence saw this feud as unnecessary and barbaric. So he promised on God's name to end this feud, no matter the consequences. Lo and behold, two children from warring sides fell in love. He decided to marry them in an effort to unite the two families. But this only made things worse. With Mercutio and Tybalt's death and Romeo's banishment, there was only one option left: union through tragedy. This friar gives Juliet the potion and she drinks it. He knows Romeo will return and see Juliet's body, so Romeo kills himself. And when Juliet is heartbroken and at her lowest point, Friar Lawrence abandons her. She kills herself, and soon, her and Romeo's body are found. His job was done. He had united the two families. He confessed his actions to the prince and faces the consequences. But he succeeded. All in the name of God. And so ends our tale of woe of Juliet and her Romeo. Sure does put a whole new meaning to this timeless tale. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I actually made this video in one day so that I could release it on Valentine's Day. I actually hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe to my channel and click that little bell for notifications. Like, comment, and share this video, and I hope you all have an amazing Valentine's Day. Fandomnaut, out.